Da-da. Hi everybody. I am just getting stuff ready and posting the link everywhere for those who are here. How do I do that? And show comments. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm going to give people a little bit of time to come in and get ready. Say hi if you come in. We'll wait till 6 to actually start, so if you need to get a drink, go ahead. I think I'm live. Can't tell if anyone's here, but I'm alive. I'll make sure to write when this actually starts, so you can just skip ahead to a certain point. We aren't going to actually start till 6, so if you want to get water and a smock and your tablecloth ready so that you don't get paint everywhere, that will work. I have my list. Alright. I don't know why I closed my pen like I'm not going to use it. Hi everybody. We're waiting for 6 o'clock to roll around and then we'll start. Just want to make sure everybody's getting their smocks on and protecting their painting space, getting some water in little cups, get all your rocks ready and your paint and everything. I hope everyone's enjoying quarantine and staying safe and using hand sanitizer and washing their hands. It's important that we all do this together so we can flatten that curve. And I know a lot of my friends have been affected by job closings and everything. And I figured this is just a good way to bring some smiles about and spread positivity in these difficult times. To make sure I have my feed up also on my computer so that I can make sure I catch all your comments in case you have any questions. Is off on my... Don't need a loud ding in the middle of all this. Dropping brushes already. It's gonna happen all night, I'm sure. Hi, welcome. Gonna hope that doesn't keep happening. I'm having some broadcasting issues. The internet keeps slowing, so that's fun. But all of this will be available after so that you can watch it however many times you need. So there's at least that. And you can always back it up as you need. We're waiting on a couple more people to come in because it's just barely 5:59. It's not even officially 6 o'clock yet. And once that happens, then we will start. Remember to get a smock, some tablecloth or something over your painting area. Get some water, not just for your brushes, but also for you to drink. I suggest a sippy cup. Don't accidentally dip your brush into your drink. I've done that. It's no fun. Alright, 6 o'clock on the dot. Alright, well, this is the Free Art Friday Introduction to Rock Painting class. Today we will be doing monster rocks, which is one of my personal favorite designs because you can do pretty much anything with it. Because I have viewers that are going to be very small and some that are adults, I want to make sure that we keep all our comments respectful and also that we will do this in levels so that no one gets left out. So if you're a beginner, you're going to understand how to do this. If you're advanced, you'll also know what to do. And you can kind of take it however you want. So that's really nice about rock painting is your designs can go anywhere. I do have my donation lists for anyone who's interested in the description for this live link. This will help me continue to buy things, because I actually purchase my rocks instead of going to like parks and whatnot, because you need to be careful with those, because in some places that is illegal to do. So you want to make sure you check your states and cities ordinances to ensure you're not breaking the law. As I've posted in the event page, you definitely want to make sure that you have rinsed off your rocks. If you haven't by now, it's okay. But in the future, it's just good to get in the habit of doing, because the dirt will make it hard for the paint to stay for long periods of time. Now, granted, at the end, you should be sealing your rocks anyway, so this may or may not be an issue for you. The things you'll need, which I did post a little bit of a list, but not a full list. You need water in a cup to rinse your brushes. You need brushes. You'll obviously need paint and rocks. I also have a palette, because I am using little things of paint instead of these, which is what I normally use, but I lent mine to my grandma so she can do this at home as well. I also have these, which are really useful. I don't know if you can see that. They are paint markers. I got them from Lotus Art Supply. I highly suggest these. They make it so easy to do things like inspirational words or small details. I just find them a lot easier to do than having to do detail brushes, but that's also because I'm sort of lazy with it. You also, at the end, will want a sealer. I know it's a little hard to get at the moment, but you can order this on Amazon or Michael's, which does allow pickup. And I use the Rust-Oleum Universal Clear Durable Top Coat in semi-gloss. They have high gloss, they have flat. You can choose really anything. It just sort of is up to you on what kind of finish you want for your rocks. Okay, so I encourage questions throughout this. I am watching for new comments to come in, so if you have a comment, please go ahead and ask it, and I will try and answer it if I am able to. The thing that started me in all of this, actually, was the Kindness Rocks project, which is this great project, and I'll allow you to go look it up on your own, because I don't want to get too far into it. But I was on a family trip up north, and I saw this rock outside of a restaurant, and it was a little ladybug, and I thought it was so cute, and I just wanted to take a picture and put it on my Instagram. And then I picked it up, and on the back it had this, it said take or hide, and it said share on social media, and it had a hashtag. And it turns out this little rock came all the way from Hawaii and was in Michigan. And I thought that was just so cool. So that night, when we got to the hotel, we went out, we found a Walmart. I got all the things I needed to do this. I think maybe spent $15 because I got a big set of these and a sealer. And you can pretty much do this for kind of as cheap as you want or as more expensive as you want. I know people who use crayons. Some people use Sharpie, but you do have to be careful with Sharpie, because certain sealers will make your Sharpie bleed. And certain rocks, such as this type of rock, which I don't know if you can really see at all. No. It's kind of like a porous rock. Sharpie will get into it, so you have to do a base coat on it to make sure that the Sharpie doesn't bleed and kind of spread out and spider into the cracks. But I started that night and did it all the way home. I made multiple rocks a night, and it really helped lift my mood. And I started the group TX Rockers that night to have my own hashtag so that anyone who wanted to join this group could. But it just showed people that this had come from Texas and that this was, someone from Texas who had made this rock. And I thought that would be neat to have. So we're also on Instagram and Twitter. So I teach a class every summer for rock painting, and I have some works here. Not all of these are my students' works, but I have a couple rocks that I wanted to show you. And so this was one of my students' rocks. I think it's like a little too bright. There we go. It's a little better. And he did this really cute, just little goofy character, and I loved it. It reminded me of my grandpa, so I kept it. And then I went to Floyd, Virginia for a family reunion and met up with someone who lives in Floyd who also does rock painting, and she had 10 different rocks that she gave me, and I gave her 10, and we were both hiding them in different places, and it says practice generosity. It's a little bunny rabbit. It's really pretty. And then today, when I was actually putting rocks out, I found this one in my own neighborhood, and it says have faith, believe, and love. And I thought that was so cute. I just wanted to show you that you don't have to make these difficult. These can be as simple as you want, because all you're doing is making someone smile somewhere. And it's that spreading of positivity that really keeps me in this program. Alright, so now we're going to start with level 1. There are going to be 4 levels to this thing. So hopefully we end at 7. I'm going to try and end exactly at 7, but it might go over a little. So the first simple, basic level rock we're going to do is a ghost. See, there we go. It's a little ghost. Alright? Because who doesn't like cute little ghosts? So we're going to take our rock. I have a little brown rock. And we're going to take our brush, and I'm going to angle this down so you can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to take a little white paint, and you don't want too much white paint, just a little. Alright, you don't want too much paint on your rock at first, so that it doesn't get all mushy and too wet, can make clumps. You can always get more, remember that, okay? Less is really more in rock painting. So we're just going to dab it a little bit more and just sort of start a nice base coat and try and make it so that you can't see this brown color anymore. I mean, if you want to have a brown ghost, you're welcome to have a brown ghost. You can have any kind of color ghost you want. That's the great thing about these rocks. You can let your imagination run wild. If you want to do a purple ghost with polka dots, you can do a purple ghost with polka dots. So the other reason you want thin layers is so that these don't take forever to dry. There's nothing more boring than watching paint dry, I promise. So alright, so we have our first rock painted. Notice how I got paint all over my hands. So if you don't like paint all over your hands, you may want to wear gloves. Me, personally, I don't mind paint on my hands. It's all washable anyway, so it's okay. And it'll just start to rub off, because I'm using acrylic. So this is fine. I'm going to do a second one while that one dries. So you can just sort of watch and see how I do these brush strokes. And try and look at the way your rock is and try and decide what kind of ghost you want it to be. Do you want it to be a happy ghost? A sad ghost? A laughing ghost? A scared ghost? Like I said, your imagination is endless with these. You can make it grumpy ghost, shocked ghost, pretty much any type of ghost. You could even give the ghosts cheese puffs if you really. Alright, there we are. Sorry. That was weird. I took myself off the internet. Since I'm using my phone, I can do that. We'll see if that works better. Alright, so yeah, you just want to do little quick strokes. You can do long strokes, it doesn't really matter. You can do like this if you want. I just like doing little strokes because because they're fast. I try and even my lines out sometimes. Alright, that one is good. Is this one dry yet? Not quite. It's almost there. For level 2 people, if you want to grab a rock and do a base color of any color, you can go right ahead. I've done a couple already that are orange, and I have green, and I have all sorts of colors. So if you would like to go ahead and start putting base colors on rocks, actually for pretty much all the rest of them, the levels, you can start just doing a base color on some rocks, just to sort of help make sure. Alright, I already have a finished one, so I'm gonna get the white off my brush. Make sure that's a little dry. Where am I? Oh no, where did I put them? Oh, did there. Paper towels. Also very useful to have during this class. Don't need much, just a little. Just helps to dry your brush a little in between stuff. Alright, there we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I have these things called sponsors, and they are just foam on a thing. You can also do this with a brush. Let me pull out one of my little brushes. Have a little round brush as well, and I'm going to show examples of how to use both, as well as my pens at the end of this. So, we have our little sponsor, and we're just going to dip it very lightly, and then I do this to sort of even out the bubbles, and then I just put dot, dot. Sometimes you have to circle, and we have 2 eyes right there. Isn't that the great makings of a ghost right there? Alright. Rinse out my sponsor a little so it's not so packed full. Alright, so now I'm going to take a brush. I'm going to show you how to do it with a brush. So we're just going to take just a little paint. See, I don't put my brush in very far. Just a little. Not much at all. And then we're just going to do a little bit of an oval here. See the first little eye? Of course, getting them to match is the hard part. But you don't have to make them match. You can make it a big eye, small eye ghost. You can do whatever you want. You can make it a one-eyed ghost. It doesn't have to have 2 eyes. Nothing says it has to. There are no rules. It's your piece of art. Okay? So we're just going to do the classic ghost for these first 2. And if you don't like how they're matching, you can keep making them a little bigger, sort of like eyeliner. Just make your wings bigger. So there we go. See? 2 simple ghosts. Already started. Now, let's see. What kind of face do we want to give these ghosts? Let's do a happy ghost. Let's make one of them very happy. Look at how happy that ghost is. Isn't that cute? Very simple, happy ghost. And then let's do a shocked ghost. Right? So we're just gonna make another circle, sort of like how we did for the eyes. And then we want to add eyebrows. How about eyebrows? Right? Look at that shocked ghost. You can add a little nose if you want. So shocked, so surprised. And then for these, let me pull out my handy dandy pens, because I adore my pens. And I will show you the different things you can do with them. So let's see, let's do our eyes. Let's make one really big eye. How about that? We'll make this one very unique. Make him have one big eye and one tiny eye, right? There we go. Doo, doo, doo. See? And I like that this rock, I don't know if you can see it, has a little bit of a dimple on it. So I'm going to actually just follow that dimple and make a little line. Isn't that cute? Give him some eyebrows. And a little nose. There we go. A little face. Isn't that cute? Alright. So this one, as you can see, is kind of rounded topped, right? So you can do all sorts of things. You can give him square eyes. Let's give him square eyes. Let's be silly. Give him square eyes. Actually, let's make him look like he's got eyes inside of it. So it looks like he's got a sheet on. Did you ever wear those costumes for Halloween? The sheet with the cutout eyes? I've worn those before. There we go. And then we'll cut a little place for his nose. Which is just going to have the hint of a place. And then we got to have one for the mouth. So let's do one for the mouth. Where it's this. There we go. That's a good cutout, little square. And then how about we add like a little tongue? Doo, doo, doo. Like he's trying to talk, right? Let's give him a pink tongue, a red tongue in there. And we can just add little black dots for eyes. See? So it doesn't have to look in any specific way. You can do it however you want. Okay? So now we're going to move on to level 2. And what time is it? 6:22. Alright, level 2. This is going to be monsters. So I have some examples that I've done this week. And these are some of my monsters. Okay? So I have already gotten some colors done because, well, I didn't feel like waiting until now and waiting for them all to dry at the same time and everything. But if yours still need time to dry, that's okay too. You can just follow along anyways. Okay, so we can look at our rocks and try and figure out where you want your face to be. Where exactly do you want this monster's face? How many eyes do you want your monster to have? All sorts of things. So I'm going to take my sponsor again, because like I said, these make it a lot easier to do. And this time I'm going to take a white and do that same technique where I dabbed it in and then ran it like this over the side to make sure that all the bubbles are out. And then I'm just going to do just like that. And you can make it a little bigger if you want. It doesn't have to be the same shape. It can be however big you want it to be. If you want the eye to be the main focus, you can make the eye the main focus, okay? You do whatever you are comfortable with. Alright, there we go. Rinse out my sponsor. Dry it. Because these foam ones will hold water. Alright. And for this one, let's see. What do we want to do for this one? Do I have any other sponsors with me? Oh, yes I do. I have a lot of sponsors with me. See, you can even do really big sponsors. This thing makes a huge eye. Really big eye. In fact, I know what I'm going to do. Alright, so we're going to do this. This one's a little hard to get wet, so you're going to have to kind of run it along the outside because this is smaller. See, so I grabbed a lot of paint and I put it up here, and now I'm just circling it around all these parts until I can see that all of it is covered, okay? Just that way you get a nice even eye. You don't want an eye with a bunch of bubbles, but you can always cover it if you don't get all the bubbles out. That's okay. You can use regular markers or Sharpies. Just make sure when you get your sealer that you're getting a sealer that won't make them run, because Sharpie specifically likes to run with certain sealers, and that's why I use the Rust-Oleum Universal Clear top coat, because for me, I haven't had it run Sharpie in the way that some of the other ones I have do. So it's really up to you, though, if you want to do the Sharpies or markers or whatnot. So let's see if we can get kind of an even eye. Oh, look at that. That came out really well. I'm actually kind of surprised. I tend to get bubbles in mine the first try. So, oof. This one holds a lot of water. Look at how watery these are. That's why it's important to dry them after you use them on your paper towel, just to kind of get some of that water, excess water out. You don't want too much of it. Okay, where is my other, there we go, I'm going to use different size. Alright, so, I'm going to wait for those to dry a little bit. While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and paint a couple other rocks with different colors for later, just to get that out of the way. I think I'm going to use a purple. Actually, I'm going to use a color shift. I have these color shifting ones that are really cool, and they kind of do this. They sometimes work, they sometimes don't. They don't always work on the rocks, especially once you put stuff on them. They can get kind of weird, but I'm going to try anyway. Just going to add a little bit more white. Don't need to fill your palette, by the way, if you're using pots. Just do a little bit. Okay. There's the ghosts from level 1. Little happy ghost family. See? Like I said, you can do whatever you want for ghosts. They can look however you want. I have this one from earlier as well. So, you can do that in whatever way you want. Alright, so I'm going to take another little foam kind of thing. You can use a regular brush, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to paint this color on my rock. Doo-doo-doo. This one usually needs 2 coats, just so that it really shines. Sort of like glow-in-the-dark paint needs 2 coats. Just to really help out. See how it kind of turns gold and purple? It's really cute. I don't know if you can see as well in this light. Now I'm going to use, what color do I want to use next? Yeah, I'm going to use a purple. I'm just going to do purple. I like purple. It's a pretty color. Alright. Don't need much. So it's kind of watery. So it might need 2 coats as well. That is a deep purple. Wow. Alright. Same technique with the first rocks. You just sort of put it on there. Light layers. You don't want anything too heavy or it's going to take forever to dry. If you have a hairdryer, you can try and help dry them along with that. I tend to, but that noise would be very loud on a live video. So I decided not to do that. So I'm just going to paint some ahead of time and let them dry naturally throughout the course of this. Alright, so we got 2 more drying over here. I'll try and... This is a color. I'm going to put colors over here. I'm trying to keep my waters separate. I have 4 things of water over here. Because I didn't know how much I was going to need. I figured it'd be better to be over-prepared than under. Since I'm not going to get up. Alright. So while that's drying, I'm going to continue painting some more. I think I'm going to start with another monster that is a very scary monster, that is a real world monster, and it is the spider. I have friends that actually own spiders, like as pets, which is kind of cool, but they can be kind of scary too. So you're just going to take black. I did the same technique we've been doing with the splouncer, but you can also do this with a brush and just do a swirl, make a circle, okay? So we're just going to tap and swirl it slightly so we get a really perfect circle. And then we're going to come in with our brush. We're going to take it and actually rough up the edges a little bit. So it's not a perfect circle anymore. So see, it doesn't matter if you had a perfect circle, because you're not going to make it look like a perfect circle anyway. You want to make it fuzzy. So it has like little hairs coming out, okay? So see, now it has fuzzy hairs growing out, okay? Alright, then I'm going to take a little black on a small brush. I'm just going to draw 1 line, and it can have like little kinks and turns in it. It doesn't have to be a perfect line. So if you can't make a perfect line, that's okay. See, this one has kinks and curves in it. That'll be fine. And we're going to set that aside to dry while we go back to these guys. So taking my detail brush, and go ahead and dip very little in this. I'm going to make a circle on the outside. Just line this circle. Sorry for the buzzing on my phone. I forgot to turn it all the vibrate off. See if I can do it without losing. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to continue to make our little circle with just a little bit of paint on our brush. Don't need to go real hard to do this. But if you do, like I said, it's okay. You can always fix it. See, so I made mine a little thick right here, so now I'm just going to make it thick all over, and that's okay. It does not matter. It'll look cute. Alright, so now we've got a little circle around our whites of our eyes. I'm going to check. Alright, yeah. So now, I'm going to make a little circle inside our big circle. And if it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, that's okay too. When the black dries, you can always add more white if you want. Or you can just make it a complete black eye. Because certain rocks are going to have more rivets and divots and all sorts of things. And they might make your paint go all over like this one's doing. And that's okay too. You see, so I left a little bit of space inside, so it makes it look like a little eye. Okay? Alright. So now we're going to see if that one's dry. Yep, that one's dry. We're going to repeat the same process over here with the circling of the eye. Ooh, it's getting thundery outside. I think it's gonna rain. The plants will be happy though. Alright, so we're just gonna start wherever on the circle. We're just gonna take our brush and slowly bring it around. You can move the rock as you need. I find it makes it a little easier. Still gonna try and make it so you can see it, however. So there we go. There we go. That's better. Alright. Now we're just gonna thicken the line. Like I said, that's fine if it's too thick at first. It's not the end of the world, it's alright. Maybe your monster just has eyeliner on, and that's okay. Or maybe they were just born like that. See, now we have that, right? It's okay if you can't paint at the same time. This will be available after. Not immediately, it'll take some time to process, but once it's ready on there, I'll make another post, and I can send it to you if you'd like, so that you can just make it as you watch the second time, because you'll have already kind of heard it all, and it should come back to you. So just pay attention right now. It's okay. Alright, so I'm going to take my tiny little sponsor again. This little foam brush makes it so easy. And I get these at Michael's, I think. And you can get them pretty much any craft store. Like, there's a big set of them. I also have these. Also good set. So it just sort of depends on what you want to do and what kind of kit you want. Like I said, I teach this class during the summer at camp, so I tend to have a lot of supplies. So I'm going to do something really weird. I'm going to give it lots of eyes inside of its eye. So it's a crazy-eyed monster. See? Look at that right there. Isn't that interesting? And we're just going to rinse these off, because these don't need to be filled with paint right now. I need another paper towel already. It's important to rinse your brushes. You don't want them drying with all this paint in them. Makes it very difficult to use them again. Alright, there we go. See? Isn't that much better? It's nice and clean now. So I'll put it over here. I'll just take and do the same thing with the black one. A little one. So alright, so now we're going to give a face to this one, right? So let's see. What kind of monster do we want? Do we want an angry monster? Or a happy monster? Or a goofy monster? I'm going to start with the scary monster. They're not really scary. They're just not understood. And that's okay. So I'm going to make a W in my paint to make the top of the mouth. Doesn't have to be a perfect W. It can just sort of look like this. And then I'm going to bring down off the edge of this W. Going to bring it down a little. So it looks more like an M almost, but with a double lift in the middle. And then I'm going to do that kind of bottom. So it almost looks like fries in a box. Then we're just going to do this right here. And we're going to fill in this area. There we go. See? Don't worry. We're going to have white on there too. You know what? I think I'm going to give this one eyelashes. See? So it's got eyelashes now on its little circle. I just did that by doing 3 little lines down to the circle. Real easy. And you can give it a nose if you want. I'm going to give it a little triangle tip nose. So it's just a little upside down V or an A without the line through the middle. And that's fine too. Rinse out my brush. Alright, let's see. This guy over here. See if these are dry. Nope, they're not quite dry. Just get black all over my fingers. It's fine. So I'll start with doing the face then. I think I'm going to make this one happy. Like a kind of goofy happy monster. How about that? So we're going to make kind of a smile. See? Whoop, there we go. See? Doesn't help if I put it off screen, right? And then I'm going to make a really big, friendly looking tooth coming off the edge. And I'm going to fill that with white once it dries. Now I'm going to give this one a little upside down U nose. Or an N without the thingy. Oh, it made it a little thick. That's okay though. We're just going to go with it. See? Alright, now we're going to rinse our brush off again. It's a lot of rinsing. A lot of rinsing. That's okay. While that's going on, I'm going to make a couple more monsters. So I have this one that's green. This is a different style of monster, okay? So I painted this because I liked this cut in the rock itself, and I thought that would be a cool mouth. So I'm going to take my itty bitty sponsor, gonna dip it in the white, do my little run thing. Oh, hello, cat. There's a cat in between my legs. Please don't jump up on my table. I'm just gonna make a little eye right there. A little circle. Then I'm gonna take this brush. I'm gonna get it with a little bit of black. Oh, hi, cat. Yes, okay. You want attention, I get it. And I'm just going to bring in, do little teeth right here. See how I did the little teeth? Right there. And I'm going to do matching ones on the bottom. I know it's kind of hard to see now that I've got all these others out. And you want to kind of make them bigger than you think you're going to need, because the black may move a little when you're doing it. And that way it gives you the option to go back in and fix it after, instead of getting it ruined now. So we're just going to fill in all this area between the teeth with black. And I'm kind of using a dot dabbing kind of motion with this, because this is very uneven in the cracks. And that way you just sort of get that paint fully in there. There, see? And now he's got teeth! Looks like a little dinosaur. I might make him a dinosaur. And it's okay to change your mind about what your rock is going to be halfway through. That's okay too. Here we go. Because you never know. You never know what you're going to do. Here, I'll even put a little stage thing so you can kind of see. And remember, when you put them out wherever you're going to put them, you can always lean them against another rock, so they'll sit up more. So don't be worried about your perspective or anything. You can always make whichever side you want to be your top. You can make your top. Like, I have rocks that are very uneven, and I know that I can set this against another rock so it'll sit up how I want it to sit. And that's okay. So now I'm going to take the little black in this. Make sure you don't have too much. And I'm going to make 2 lines right here. So he has a nose right on top. And you know what? I might make it even more nose. Because who says how many nostrils you need to have? You can have as many nostrils as you want. You can have as many eyes as you want. You don't have to follow any set rules. Just remember that. Alright. I'm going to make sure there's no more black in my brush before I move to the white for these, while I wait for this one to fully dry. Whew. Put my hand on it accidentally. That could have been bad. Alright, there's Dino Monster. There's that. Alright. So there's little bits that are still wet, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to take my white, get just a little bit, and I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to make a little dot. Like that. See? See a little dot? Also, another thing you can use for dots that is very useful if you want to do small details are these. These are nail dotting tools. And they are super useful for this because they have two different sizes on each side. So there's a very tiny one and there's a much bigger one. So you can choose if you want to do little eyes, you can do little reactions to it. And that's also cool. I got these on Amazon. So they were super inexpensive, which was nice. For all my micro detail work, I tend to use nail art brushes because they're made to handle small areas. They're very useful for that. Alright, back to the monster. We're just going to make you have really nice little bubble in your eye. And this just gives it a little bit more dimension. Hi, cat. No, do not jump up here. Go down. I know. Apparently this is the one-handed area of the class so that I can stop my cat from jumping onto my workstation. Oh, it's fun too. Alright, so see? Now we got all these eyes, right? And I'm just taking my white to make this tooth. There we go. Isn't that cute? He's just a silly little monster. So let's go back to this one and finish the teeth. So we're going to take our white. Let's make sure it's dry. It's dry, so we're good. So we're going to go back in and kind of where you have these openings, fill that in just a little bit with your white. Real easy, real simple. Nothing too difficult. Just gonna make little triangles. You can make them as sharp or as dull as you want. They could be square, they could be round. Nothing says they have to be triangles. I'm gonna make these a little bit bigger because I want it to have big teeth. See? There you go. So even the scary ones, they don't look so scary. They're just silly little monsters. And that's okay. Alright, so now we're going to finish this guy, and then we will move on to the third level, which is the spider, which should be dry by the time we get there. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fill in your teeth, however big or however small you want. Whee! And if you want to give him polka dots, you could give him polka dots. You can give him scales. I might give him scales. He looks kind of like a dragon or a dinosaur, so I might give him scales. Just to really... Oh no, see? Even I messed up. See the teeth? Kind of messed up there. But that's okay. So we're just going to take more paint. we're just going to bring it down just a little bit further. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to get kind of the point across. Woo. We can also go back in with black at the end to fix it, which I might do. It's hard to paint on chips. And go back in. See? And now it looks like teeth again. And not just random. Hi, cat. Do you want to be on camera? Is that what you want? Do you have your 15 seconds of fame? Are you done now? Alright, so we're just going to bring down some lines into the teeth, down near the gum. So that you can tell they're teeth. Because each of our teeth have little things in between them. Yours don't have to, though. Like I said, you can do whatever you want. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to make just a little line up top. Whee! I'm just going to give him like a little like drool coming out. So he looks a little scary. We're going to do the same thing that we do for all these eyes. We're going to circle the eye with a little bit of black just to really make the eye pop, you know? I think that was the best circle I've done yet. See? And then we're just going to add our eyeball. I think I'm going to make this one have a big eye. He's excited. Alright, see? And he's not perfect, but our imperfections are what makes this awesome. So that's okay too. And I'm going to take, what color should I take? Do I have a dark green anywhere? I don't think I do. I know. I'm going to take a glow-in-the-dark paint. And I'm going to go ahead and put little scales and glow-in-the-dark paint. So you only see them at night. During the day, you're not going to see them. But if it's outside at night, you'll get to see that it has scales. That it's a little dragon. And I'm just doing little V's. They don't have to be super shiny or anything, or whatever. You can make them big. That's okay too. Alright, there we go. See how I have all the scales? And they're going to dry. You won't really be able to see them unless it's dark. Alright. Now we have him. Let's see if I can get him on here without messing him up. Alright, so now, my spider friends, level 3, we're going to take our little fuzzy little spider. I'm going to take this splouncer. Actually, I'm going to take, I'm going to take this sponsor, the middle sponsor. Gonna dip it like we have been, and then swirl it on the side. Make sure you get all the paint inside those bubble lines. And then I'm just going to make, actually, I think this one might be too big. I'm going to use a small one. It's okay to change your mind. You don't have to do it however. So I'm going to take that. I'm just going to put two little eyes right there. You can do as many eyes as you want. It doesn't have to just be two. I'm just doing two for the ease of it. So now I'm going to dry out that sponsor. I'm going to take my detail brush and put it in black. Don't need that much paint. So it's just a little. And I'm going to make some legs coming off of this. And your spider can have as many legs as you want. You don't have to make it a regular spider. It could have 10 legs. It could be like an octopus. It can be 6, it could be 2. Who knows? Just sort of get the idea that it's a spider. Okay. There we go. Just gonna make the top parts of the legs a little bit thicker. So there we go. See, doesn't it look like a spider? So, okay, let me rinse that brush out. And I'm going to make little polka dots behind it. I'm going to use sponsor for some and the detail brush for others. And I think I'm going to use the color shifting one that I have to do it. So, just going to make little lines. Little lines. They don't have to have order to them. They can kind of be however you want. And remember, you can always go back over areas that were black if you don't like the way things came out. That's okay. You can keep painting until you can't paint no more if you want. Rocks can hold a lot of paint. I know I've gone way over on my time now. It's 7:01. Oof. Alright. So I guess I'll save 4 for later. Level 4 is going to be Dracula. So that will be next week, along with our garden friends. And just remember to pay it forward somehow. Little acts of kindness go a very long way, especially right now. So before you go, on the back of these, I like to put a call out to the hashtag that I told you about. Did I have any that have the back? Yeah. So it says on the back of this, it says share my story on social media, hashtag TXRockers, take or hide, and then you can sign it and put your name on it. And when I seal these, which I might do a separate video just for sealing so you can see how I do it, I will take just a slight layers of it, and I do 2 layers per top and bottom, just to kind of make sure it's got total coverage if I'm going to leave these outside, I don't want them leaking anywhere. And I try to leave them someplace like on cement, or like on a sign or gate, just so that in case it rains, all the paints and stuff, if they start to fade off or chip off or whatever, don't get into the grass and things that you want to grow, because it can hurt them. So now we're going to do our eye. Hopefully this is dry enough. Whee! Just make our little eye. Oh, this one's a big eye. Uh-oh. I made a mess. That's okay. We're gonna clean it up and everything will be alright. Just gonna take a little wipe. And ta-da! Cleaned it right up. Just put little dots right there. So see? And there's our spider. Wasn't that easy? Alright, well, I hope you've enjoyed this. These are our 3 levels of designs. And I hope to do this again next week, same place, same time. Remember to check out those donation links if you'd like to leave a donation. Anything that is excess will go to help the art community in some way. So, yeah. Thank you for dropping by, and I hope to see you all next week. Bye.